Welcome to Queen's Birthday Red and Black Sport, and what a program we've got for you. An absolute thrill. I've been looking forward to it for several weeks actually, because my guest got in touch with me. I actually congratulated him on his success, and we'll paint the picture for you. He was a boy that grew up, went to school in Geraldine. He's now going to tangle with the big boys in a few days' time in the World Rally Circuit. So you probably remember him having come in before. Great talker, very enthusiastic. Hayden Paddon, all we can say is congratulations, mate. Tell us what has happened.
Yeah, thanks very much. Now we have a huge opportunity this year. We've been chasing it for a long time, probably all my life, and to now be in a fully fledged factory team with Hyundai in the World Rally Championship, driving a World Rally car, it's a dream come true.
And we're at the top level?
Yes, so we're at the very top now. We've been in the support championships and the championship for the past 3 years. Now we've got the big break, and you know, to be in a factory team, it's where you have to be to progress in the sport and to be ultimately in a position to win. And we're with one of the best teams in the championship now. So.
Why should Hyundai actually invest in you?
Well,
what do they see in you?
My view is a bit biased, but no, you know, my goal has always been to be World Rally Champion, and that's what I'm working very hard towards. And the past few years, we've been near the front and winning in the support championships, and you know, we try and bring a lot to the team, not just only with the driving of the car and the speed, but also with the development of the car and setting the car up, which is, you know, important to a team at the moment because it's brand new car. They need as much feedback as they possibly can. Is
this Hyundai's first dab at it?
They were in the championship 6 or 7 years ago, but not as a fully factory team. It was done by a contractor team. So this time is a full-on effort, and they're pouring a lot of money and a lot of resources into it.
So, okay, how did they know about Hayden Paddon from Geraldine?
Well, we've been knocking on their door. They announced that they were going to be entering the World Championship 2 seasons ago. So as soon as they made the announcement, we were knocking on their door, letting them know who we were, and then you know, our results last year.
Hang on. A young fluff like you just doesn't go and knock on the door. Hyundai, let's be fair. How do you get there? Do you have an agent that does it for you? What do you do?
No, basically between myself and a couple of our directors within the company here in New Zealand, you know, we did a lot of it ourselves. We do have some people that represent us in Europe, but at the end of the day, the best person to represent yourself is yourself. You can portray the enthusiasm, and you can put your foot down a bit more.
Did you get to the big cheese?
Not quite. We got to the big cheese of the motorsport team, but not of Hyundai.
Okay. So who sets the deal up? They employ you, and on their terms, you get a say into it. How can you negotiate through?
Oh, of course you can negotiate, but when you're the new boy on the block and you chase an opportunity like this, you're going to basically take everything that they offer to you. So, you know, we're not, at the moment, we're in a position where we still have to prove ourselves. So this year is a big year to get in and learn, but we have to prove ourselves, and we have to try and solidify a career in the World Championship. So,
without disclosing too much, what's the contract terms? How long are you going to be a committed Hyundai team member?
Well, at present the contract is for this year, but in saying
1 year only.
1 year only, but there is provisions, and they have made it very clear to us that they're bringing us in as a development driver, as a junior development driver. So they're putting a lot of money and resources into developing us. So ultimately, they want us to continue forward with the team. So
are you the only driver for Hyundai in the World Rally?
No, there's a 3-car team, so we have 2 experienced teammates. Who one is a guy called Terry Neuville, who was second in the World Championship last year. And then the second seat's shared between 2 or 3 drivers, and then we're in the 3rd car.
So do you sponge that up? You listen to these guys, you take it all on board. You're the young boy coming through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we can learn off these other drivers. They're our benchmark, so we come in with not a lot of expectations from the team. But for me personally, if we can come in and try and beat the number 2 driver, get close to number 1.
Which you will want to do, won't you? Because that's your makeup.
Of course, exactly. As a rally driver, you're always competitive. So I guess you could say we come in as a dark horse. But there's 120 people in the team running this 3-car team.
Go on.
So it's a great opportunity for us to learn from all these people.
120 in the team?
Yes, there's a lot of names to remember.
So the circus, when it moves around, it must be logistically a huge job, isn't it?
Oh, it's massive. Like even the service area,
it's 3 cars, but they will have backup cars, will they?
Yeah, they basically have
about
10 cars in the workshop to run the 3-car team. So
right, okay.
Plenty
so they go to every meeting?
No, basically to every rally they'll just take the 3 cars, but then some of the cars are also a test car, so they'll use them primarily just for the testing before the rallies, and then each event they'll alternate the cars to keep them fresh. And
a crew number, any idea?
Well, on each car during a rally there can be about 10 cars, 10 people working on the car, and then you've got your engineers, data engineers, engine engineers, logistics people, managers, so the list goes on and on.
Do you have a personal dresser?
Do
Do you have your own caravan with a star?
Not quite, but this year's a bit of an upgrade. We've got massage people and nutritionists and all sorts of people on site. So,
so you're being managed as well as a person?
Definitely.
Good on you.
They're trying to develop.
We've then got to ask a hard question. What does it mean to your co-driver, John Kennard, who, to be fair, may even be older than your father, is he?
About the same age as my dad.
Yeah.
I guess he almost plays a father figure in the car a little bit. We've been together for 8 years now, built a really good relationship. Everything.
But he's never been to this level, has he?
Well, he was as a team management. He was involved in the team management of a World Rally team.
Not in a car.
But not actually in the car.
Yeah. So what a thrill to get to his age. He's been on your coattails, you've been on his, and what a journey it's been for the two of you.
Oh, it's been incredible. We've right from day dot when we first got together. This is what we've worked towards, and you know he's enthusiastic as ever. He does a great job. There's a big trust aspect between driver and co-driver, and we work really well together.
The age thing is not a problem.
No, not so much. We've got a few interests that are a bit different. I guess he's got a vineyard up in Blenheim, and I live for rallying. He's got a vineyard up in Blenheim, and I don't drink wine. And
you don't drink wine?
No.
Oh.
But we work well together in the car, and that's an important thing. And you know, it's just something.
He'd go to bed a bit earlier than you too, probably, would he?
Quite possibly.
Quite possibly. Okay. But, I mean, you have got now to have complete discipline in your life, don't you? That puts such trust in you, don't they?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And, you know, right from when we've been trying to get from here from day dot, you know, it's been 100% on rallying, 100% towards achieving what where we're at now. So, you know, this is no different. Everything sort of takes another step up from the training, the mental side, the physical side, the preparation, the homework, everything takes a step up this year. But, you know, we're prepared and we're ready for it.
So do you ever get to a stage where, chuck it away, you know, it ain't going to happen, I'm out of here? Nearly did with money, didn't it?
There's been several stages like that over the past 4 years. The money's just been horrendous. Like we've had to, over the last 3 or 4 years, raise basically $5 million to get to where we are now. So there's been many...
Grant Dalton, eat your heart out. I mean, that's American Cup stuff, isn't it? At your level, to have to $5 million.
Many situations where it would have been very easy to throw the talent, but for me, this has always been my life. I've always been committed to it, and I've had a lot of very, very good people around me from sponsors, shareholders, family, and we've got through it in the end, and it just goes to show. A lot of people said to us when we first started this project out in the World Championship 5 years ago, it wasn't possible. And we haven't quite made it yet, but we've made a very, very big step.
Is that the highest in New Zealand has been?
Well, within the World Rally Championship, yes. Possum was a factory driver for Subaru, but that was more within the Asia Pacific Championship.
Correct, not on the world scene.
No, but yeah, Possum's still a role model for all us people in motorsport New Zealand, and if I can be half the person he was, then I'm sure we can do great things. Amazing story, isn't it? And it certainly isn't complete, the story. Hayden Paddon is my guest. Really looking forward to just keep going with him because he's a man, as I say, we've followed a bit. $5 million he's had to raise over that period. It's big tin, isn't it? Never mind. He's hasn't really been scarred by the look of it. Still looks pretty fresh for a 27-year-old. Back in a moment with Hayden Paddon. Welcome back. My guest is the latest Hyundai WRC Rally Champion signing. So great to have the boy from Geraldine, Hayden Paddon, with me. Hayden, you personally, to take the step up, what have you had to do physically, just probably emotionally and planning-wise? What have you had to do? It's like any sports, I guess. You got to train hard, and probably for the last 2 years, I guess beforehand I was working a normal 9-to-5 job. Time was a lot harder. Now rallying's a full-time profession for me, so it means a lot more time in the gym, a lot more time doing mental training. We work with a specialised clinic in Italy that helps us prepare mentally. And is Italy your base? No, actually Germany's our base. Germany's your base. So we're travelling all over the world. But basically we're 15 minutes from the workshop in Germany, which is why we're based here. But so you have a personal trainer? Oh yeah, well, this clinic in Italy, they set us goals, objectives to achieve, both physically and mentally, and then between myself and my partner Katie, then we go away and we work on those every week, every month, and then we go back 2 or 3 times a year. So Katie does the drill as well? Yeah, well Katie was there, she studied nutrition at university, so that comes in handy, but you know, she does a lot behind the scenes with the marketing. Can you still have a life though? Yeah, you still have a bit of fun, or is it? For me, rallying's always been my life. So that's your fun. Well, exactly. So you know, I'm very privileged to do what I do. Do you get a chance to have a look around the world? I mean, I'm not big on sightseeing, to be honest. I'm quite
Other people give their left.
I'm quite narrow-minded, but Katie enjoys it. But 24/7, it's about rallying at the moment, and particularly this year when we have an opportunity the size of what we have.
Right.
You've got to make sacrifices.
So do your personal trainers or whoever, nutritionists, they set goals for you? How are you travelling along that line? Are you hitting the targets they ask you to?
Yeah, we've been exceeding them over the past 6 months. So ever since this deal got penciled on a contract 6 months ago, it wasn't public for quite a while after. But ever since that's happened, we've been meeting all the goals, and still a long way to go yet. We've just got to keep working hard, but it's looking good.
Now, pardon my ignorance, where is head office of Hyundai?
The factory of the cars is based in Korea, but the factory of the motorsport team is based in Frankfurt, Germany.
Right, okay. Why is that just a logistical thing? It's easier to be set there?
Yeah, exactly. Like 90% of the World Championship is based in Europe, so from where they are, they can get to all the rallies quite easily.
Right. So do you spend most of your time there? At headquarters?
Well, we get in there whenever we can, but at the same time we are employed as a driver. We're not there as a mechanic. As much as I'd love to be getting my hands dirty, we have to, there's a clear line there. We do what we're employed to do, so we go in when we can, but at the same time you don't want to be bugging them too much.
Right. It must be frustrating because you started as a mechanic, didn't you? You started tinkering and working with cars and looking after yourself, really, didn't you?
Oh, exactly. It's the whole DIY attitude in New Zealand. You do everything you can. So between me and a couple of mates, we'd do all the work on our rally cars here in New Zealand. So
do you look over the shoulder at the whiz kids and think, hang on?
Oh, you do. You try and learn a little bit and
No,
stuff you
tell
can bring
them,
back
yeah,
to Well, no, I won't tell them. So they know more.
Are they by and large Korean?
No, a lot of the team is, there's 14 nationalities within the team, and it's an English-speaking team, but there are a lot of French people as well, so a very multinational
sure.
team.
That would add some colour.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah.
And
do you get to be with them a lot or not?
Oh, we spend a bit of time.
Do you eat with them? Do you know?
When you're on away on rallies, you try and build those relationships, and at the end of the day, while it is a professional sports team and it is a job for a lot of them, at the end of the day, you still want to be friends. You put a lot of faith and trust in these guys who are working on your car, and you're travelling down forest roads at 200 k's an hour. So, you've got to get on well with them.
Scary stuff, isn't it? Really, if you let it.
I find it exciting.
Yeah,
so,
of course. Yeah,
the faster, the better.
Obviously, it won't be the same program, but John Kennard is expected to play the game as well, go through the gym, nutrition, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly, it's big for him as well. It's not as simple as just sitting in the car, turning the steering wheel. There's a lot of pressure on the body. The heat in the car can get up to 50 degrees, but then there's also the concentration levels are so high that obviously plays an act in how your body reacts. So the heart rates are very high. Like during a stage, the heart rates can be up 170, 180 beats per minute, which is equivalent to running. And then that fatigue comes in, so your body's working quite hard. So
because you try and compare it to a runner, your concentration factor is far higher, isn't it?
Definitely.
Split-second stuff, isn't it?
Oh, it is. You know, if there's a split-second decision, that can be the difference between keeping it on the road or throwing it off the road. So, the stakes are very high, but also, as I say, the heat, when you're doing this in 40 to 50 degree heat, you're wrapped in 3-layer overalls, you've got no airflow.
Do you not have any airflow?
No, there's no airflow. Obviously, if you have the window down, you'll have the dust coming in. So it does.
But you don't pump any air into your suit, or?
No, we don't have any of those sort of resources or things like that as weight in the car.
And the length of time you can be in the vehicle?
It can vary anywhere from a stage can be short as 5 minutes long, or can be as long as 35, 40 minutes long at a time. So those long stages are certainly quite difficult.
That is difficult, isn't it? Yeah. How do you practice that?
There is no real way of practicing it. It's really when you get to the rally and you're actually on the event. Unlike circuit racing, you can't spend time in simulators. You can't go out and practice the track. We're only allowed to do the rally and the roads of that particular country once a year. If we do it again in between times, it's illegal and you can be excluded.
Really?
So
you can't take your holiday and go somewhere and have a crack?
No, we can't do that. So we only have one chance a year, which is why rallying is such a big experience game. You just need to keep going back year on year to
Tough
get
question to
that
ask you, but I'm going to anyway. Who's the most important in the gear? You or the co-driver?
Everyone.
It's
From
a team
the driver, the
But
co-driver,
you must
the
have
mechanics.
total faith in John Kennard, do you?
Oh, you have to.
He calls left, right,
they
centre.
sometimes say the co-driver's life is in the driver's hand. It's actually the other way around as well, because I'm doing 100% from the pace notes that he's reading. That's what I'm driving to. I'm not driving to what I see, I'm driving to what I hear.
Yeah,
So,
gee, that's tough. That's tough, though, isn't it?
oh, it is.
Yeah.
He's got the short straw.
So there must be times you think, I think you got it wrong. Well, you don't have much time to think, I suppose,
Well,
do you?
he can't get anything wrong, whereas I can make the odd mistake. I can
He
run a bit
can,
wide.
he's a human being.
Well,
You can get things wrong.
Well, they can turn pear-shaped if he gets it wrong. So he's a
When
bit
you
of
do
pressure
go
on him.
upside down, who do you blame?
I'm the one behind the wheel at the end of the day. So
But you could come out with the old sort of Captain Jones thing, I was just following orders there, you know.
exactly. No, as you say, we're all human. Mistakes do happen sometimes, and it's part and parcel of the sport.
Bet the owners get grumpy then.
Crashing and well, touch wood, it's not something we want to do, but it is actually part of the sport. Like sometimes you have to put a scratch on the car to define the limits, and sometimes it's a good thing if you're trying hard.
All right, when we come back, though, we're going to talk about where does the journey start, when does it start. It's only in a few days' time, and there's some interesting rules around what these two guys can do, Paddon and Kennard. So when we come back, we'll be talking again rallying. Welcome back, and we're just, if you'll pardon the pun, we're going to go on the road now with Hayden Paddon, because where does the journey start? It starts in a few days' time, I think, in June. Where are you first up, mate?
Our first rally for the year is in Italy, in a small island in Sardinia. So the first rally of the year, first of 7 for us. So
Yeah. Now, we expect hot conditions, I would have thought. June over there.
yes, very hot, right in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
So
On
we
an
can
island.
expect the temperatures up to be about 40 degrees. So it's going to be very hard work in the car.
Now, you haven't actually seen the course, have you?
No, so basically before each rally we do 2 days worth of reconnaissance on the same week of the rally, where we go out in a road car at road speeds and we write our pace notes for the rally.
Right. So does John write them in association with you, or does he write them?
Well, basically we have 2 passes. So that first pass, we're driving down the road and I'm reading to John what I want the notes to say. So we have our own language
Right.
of how it works, and what I'm saying to him is how I translate the picture of the road in my head. Second pass, he reads them back and we're checking them and fine-tuning them, and then when we get to the rally, he's reading those set of notes.
So you only get 2 goes, is that right?
Yes, 2 goes.
Separate days?
It depends on the schedules, but yeah, often on the same day.
Because the thing that intrigues me, you go out and it's 40 degrees and it's a beautiful day, you know, when you're doing your practice note-taking.
Yes.
You come back to the rally, it's been a hell of a thunderstorm and it's bucketed down. Must change the whole script.
That is one of the biggest challenges, because the recce is so, like if you're doing recce for the Sunday stages on the Tuesday, there's almost a week between
Heck of
when
a
you're
lot
actually
can
on them
happen.
and speed. So that is certainly one of the biggest challenges of changing conditions. The other challenge is that reconnaissance speed is generally around 60 to 80 kilometres an hour, and you're recceing where you're going to be doing 180 kilometres in the rally. So when you're doing this reconnaissance, you're trying to picture what the car's going to be doing when you're going twice the speed.
Right. I've heard a lot made of the fact of when you are actually going to get off. You know, I mean, if 20 drivers have been ahead of you, track's going to be in a different condition than the first guy out, isn't it? So
Oh, it is.
how do you determine that?
Well, the rules within the championship this year is that for the first day of the rally, the road order position is based on championship order. So the person that's
From
leading the
last time.
championship
Last year.
since the last rally.
Yep.
So throughout the year, the points are accumulated. There's 13
Yep.
rounds as part of the World
You
Championship.
don't have any.
We don't have any, so that's good for us
You
for the
start
first
the next
rally.
day.
Well, yeah, exactly. That'd be nice. But that means for our first one in Sardinia, it means we're going to be further back on the field, which is good. It means we get a cleaner road. The second and third day is then reverse order. So if you're the person that's running first overall at the end of day 1, he will be the last World Rally car off, so he might be 15th or 16th on the road.
Right.
So there is a lot of tactics that come into play. Because
Absolutely, yeah.
the difference between being first on the road and being 15th on the road can be up to 1 to 1.5 seconds per kilometre, which is night and day in rallying.
Absolutely, yes. So it's a cat and mouse thing, I suppose. Do you not read too much into the first day results because you think that they're probably just planning for an angle?
Yeah, well, there is that. For us,
Or do you want to go out and dominate?
Well,
yeah.
there is always 2 sides. It depends on how big a gap you can build, and if you're going to go out and try and be first on the road, if you can maintain that gap. But for us anyway, this year, because we are the new boys on the block and we're learning, we're not worrying about any tactics. We're just going to go out and drive as hard and fast
Give it
as we
everything.
can. Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Then where does your journey go? Off to Poland, do you?
Yes, Poland, which is another new event for us, and then we go to Finland, Germany, Australia.
Why is it big in those countries? Rallying.
Rallying's massive in Europe. Anywhere we go in Europe, it's a huge sport. Like most countries we go to, you can expect up to anywhere from 200 to 500,000 spectators, 200,000 to 500,000 spectators on the stages. So it's a big deal
That's
over there.
a big go, mate, isn't it?
It's huge, and it's amazing to be part of that atmosphere. It's almost like a party when you go to these rallies.
And they're damn near on the road, aren't they?
In some
Some of them
countries
are
are getting
alright.
very close, which can get a
yeah.
bit scary, but luckily there's not too many accidents.
So you've got 7 events.
Yes, 7 events.
Are they backed up, or do you get a break?
Well, as I say, our first one from Sardinia, we're basically doing the rest of the World Championship until the end of the year. So often there's 2 or 3 weeks between each rally. So once we start, we've been waiting a long time for it to start, but once we start, it's bang, 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 all the way till the end of the year.
But you are going to get home at some stage?
Yeah, we still have our support here in New Zealand with our shareholders, but mainly also with our sponsors, Vins, Placemakers and Pack and Save. So we come back and we do a lot of PR and promotional work with them.
So when are you back in July?
Back in July.
So you'll have had how many rallies under your belt then?
I would have done Poland by then as well, so two rallies, and then come back for a couple of weeks. And,
will you be coming through Christchurch?
Yeah, of course.
Great. We'd love to grab you, wouldn't we? Because you know, it's all so exciting at the moment. It might be
more exciting after a couple
it could be a bit
rallies.
flatter.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be some excitement. So there'll be some good points.
To be honest, so really, your support crew. Do you have people from here that go over as well?
Basically,
Dad going?
Dad will come over and support us. We've got a few of our supporters coming over to support us. So there's going to be a lot of Kiwis out there in the stages. So hopefully we can do them proud.
I always used to think motorsport was a glamorous sport, mate. Yeah, the chicks loved it. I mean, are they still about?
To be honest, I don't notice. I'm so focused on enjoying.
Well, you got Kate with you anyway, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
but it did used to be, didn't it? They were Jack the lads, these boys, and
exactly.
they always seemed to have the tarts around. They were pretty keen on them.
Yeah,
but,
I guess rallying's a bit more pure and a bit more of an adventure, and so.
Who do you think will take out 2014?
I think it's looking very obvious at the moment. Sebastian Ogier is the man to beat. He's won most of the rallies this year, and the car that he's got is very fast as well. So, but you know, our team with Hyundai, they're putting a lot of money in. I'm sure within the next 12 to 18 months, our team will be right up there as well.
Right. Have you got any Kiwis in your crew?
Not as of yet, but now that we're in there, they seem to be employing nationalities of people based on drivers as well. So
have you got some people you would like to have in there?
Oh, of course, it would be nice if we can introduce some Kiwis in there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they're good enough.
Kiwi mechanics are world class.
Yeah,
so, they're definitely
so there's
good
no
enough.
doubt there. Going to swear at you now. Money? Is there a few bob in this thing or what?
Yeah, well, it's, the opportunity we have this year is good for the aspect that we're not having to take so much now, because this is an opportunity where we're being employed by a team. Okay, we're not getting paid, but it is a great...
You're not getting paid?
No, but it's a great turnaround for us to be in a position where we don't have to take so much money like we have done in the past.
Right. So just run that again. You're not getting paid. You're being supplied, obviously, with the very best you can have.
Yes, we're getting the full support of the team.
In the past, did you have to find the money for that?
Yes.
Right.
So basically in the past we've had to take the money.
Yep.
Now we're in a position where we're on neutral ground, and then in the future, if we can keep building a career in the sport, then it comes the other way.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So for the believers and the faith holders and the stakeholders, they want a good year out of you this year, don't they?
Oh, of course, we all want a good year, and then ultimately, if we can get to where we want to get to, a full-time contract next year, and ultimately try and win the World Championship, it'd be great for me. You know, I'm not in the sport to make money. I'm in the sport to achieve my goals, but there's a lot of people that have supported us over the past few years. Yeah. If we can pay them
nice
back,
to get paid back, wouldn't
it's a good way to show our appreciation.
Is the big money in the game?
Oh, like
Sebastian, what would he pull?
Like any professional sports, there is big money. You know, like some of those guys are on multi-million-dollar salaries.
And are they megastars in Europe?
Oh, yeah, they are. Like in France, Sebastian Loeb, for example. France is one of the biggest countries in the world, and Sebastian Loeb is the biggest sporting person in France. He's the equivalent of the All Blacks or Dan Carter. So rallying is a big deal over there.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Yeah, I'm still staggered about the crowd sizes. That's the thing that really just staggers me.
You got to be on events. You got to come over and see one for yourself.
The other interesting thing is, of course, you don't get a vote whether you think it's a good course or a bad course, do you? You've got to go on it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
The organisers.
You will find that, though, won't you? There'll be some that you prefer to others.
There's always stages that you don't like, that are too rough, or there are some rallies in particular that you really enjoy or you don't enjoy. Tarmac, gravel, some people prefer tarmac or gravel. The one rally I'm particularly looking forward to this year is Rally Australia. It's the closest one to home. Yeah. Road's quite similar to New Zealand, and a lot of Kiwis will be going over.
I wish you all the best luck, my mate.
Great. Thanks very much.
I remember the young man that came into the studio some years ago, and the dream, it's burnt and it's got there. We're going to see you in July, we hope.
Yep,
okay.
definitely.
Can you come back with a couple of good placings?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Bye from Joel Reid. Have a happy Queen's Birthday weekend. Great to have had Hayden Paddon, and we all do wish him the very, very best of luck in one of the most competitive sporting arenas.